You're listening to Eat, Play, Sex with Dr. Kat, the place to up-level that sexy life of yours, with expert talk on sex, love, and nutrition.
So in one of your episodes, it was about how you were talking about introducing a third into your relationship, or you were talking about stepping into opening the relationship with Jordan. And how did you approach bringing in a third? How did you all have that conversation? How did you approach somebody? What did that process look like?
Yeah. So this is an ongoing conversation from the beginning of our relationship, because just like all these other concepts, the idea of bringing in other people was very foreign. And he had preconceived notions about those things too. So the things that he thought about BDSM and kink, it was like, okay, dark dungeon, these demented people, whatever. On some level, he had that understanding. And so what does it mean about him if he decides to act some of those things out or do some of those things? That was a reconciliation. And it was for me too. The first few times, granted, I had some really incredible orgasmic experiences where afterwards I went, what the fuck? Like that was the most incredible. Like, I don't even care if this is some dark, twisted shit. I am a dark, twisted person then, because that was hot. And no one can tell me any different. Like, amazing. So he didn't have those kinds of things. It was just concepts. And so he also had certain understanding of like, what does it mean to have an open relationship? Mm-hmm. And that's a multi-year process of figuring out, many conversations, many trials and errors. And for us, we're moving slow. We have forever married now. Like we have lots of intention. We've got plenty of time. Just because I'm questioning monogamy and we consider our relationship monogamish, where by all accounts, like we are each other, we're the family unit. We are open to playing with others, but we have a lot of conversation to have in order to get to actually playing with others. Because again, sexual energy moves the nervous system really fast. And there's just sometimes things can move so quickly, like in a system, not like, oh, wow, all of a sudden we're all having sex. It's just in a system. And I'm talking about a nervous system where, it's this thing that was seemingly small, but now we're repairing it and trying to figure out and heal from it for many months after. And so we're weighing the gravity of that. Like we have certain things that we want to achieve and do in life. And so do we have the space to actually process for that long? And that's all stuff we factor in to saying, yes, we'd like to maybe play with somebody. So, for us, really what it's looked like up to this point is we've had a handful of sexual encounters with other women. There's been lots of flirting and playing and teasing and like going out and that kind of thing where, I'm maybe in one part of the bar room party or something. And, and it's fun where the other, there's another woman who has asked my permission, asked him, can we go and play and do? And I love being a voyeur. And so he's off flirting, being his social butterfly self. And I'm like, in the corner brooding alone. Kidding. I'm not, but
enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm enjoying it. And I revel in that. I'm like, oh, he's hot. People want his attention. And I'm also hot. People want my attention. Like we just have this dynamic of like, we love the fact that people are into us. And so I never want him to feel like he never gets that feeling again. And I don't want him to eroticize, like it in a dark way or keep things from me per se. I know he won't bring everything to me, but, so, it's looked like us playing to some degree, makeout sessions. We've had, people in the room while we've had sex. So like there's different degrees of having an open relationship, so to speak. And for us, it's people play with us, then they have a lot of respect for the unit that we are. And we do our due diligence before we interact and we engage. And so, it took quite some time. We went to Burning Man. We've done like play parties, sex in big groups of people, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's been a hard-ish subject to really get to the root, because we want to be at a certain place before we actually start bringing in like body parts and other people and their emotions and their traumas and all that too. So, we take it slow. So we are on Field. We took a break from being on Field, which is the app that is usually people are finding thirds and unicorns and swapping and swinging or lifestyle and all that. So, we're on Field and we realize like this is a minimum viable product here. Mm-hmm. We don't have to meet anybody if we don't want to meet them, but we can put our pictures out. We can state our intentions. We can be really super upfront with who we are and what we're about, and we can see what happens. And so, recently, I think the episode that you're talking about, Jordan and I spoke about how we met someone, because we went on a pre-date before we actually met this person. And we went and we were like, okay, lay it all on the table. And we've had these conversations a million times. We will have them a million plus more. Like it's just a perpetual thing. And so I was just like, worst case scenario, best case scenario, what are we open to? Because it changes. We might do like a want, won't list or say what we're cool with last month, but today I'm not cool with it. I'm like in my luteal phase. I'm very like, I'm not open, like the week to week things change, especially definitely. For me. Yeah. So, we take it slow. I have this vision for us that we will get to a place. Yeah. That we will get to a place where people are freely making invitations to us and are interested and curious about us and want to get to know us individually and collectively. And I do my very best not to have to put this pressure on how they act, whoever the third is, or people who want to play with us. I witness myself doing this where I'm like, well, but the person didn't contact me first, and like putting all these weird arbitrary rules around navigating it, where I'm like, why they didn't talk to me first. They talked to Jordan first, red flag. Yeah. It's like, fuck, Alexa, you're just going to red flag everything. Stop it.
Lovers, thank you again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, hit subscribe and head over to eatplaysex.com to connect with me and grab my sexy guides. Because my goal here is to get you to eat, play, and sex better, so you can improve your sex life, which will improve every aspect of your life. Until next time, keep it sexy.